lovely book dragons, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Joana and I love to talk about books on this channel, specifically fantasy books. And today I have a video that kind of came to me because I was thinking of books that I don't talk enough about on my channel. And so I thought, but I don't even know what you guys associate with me. Like, I had an idea, but I wanted to be sure. And so I did a little question box on my Instagram and I asked, hey, what books do you guys associate with me? I pulled off the shelves the books that you guys mentioned, and it's hilarious because, like, I think almost every single answer had Brandon Sanderson in it, and that was hilarious. Like, you guys know me well, I love Brandon Sanderson, but I want to show you all the books that you guys associate with me, and that's kind of like just a fun video I thought I would make. First of all, someone mentioned the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas, and I was happy to see this because this is the series that got me into fantasy. I've talked about this for a while here on the channel. This is the series that started it all. It got me into fantasy. It made me into the voracious fantasy lover that I am today. And I recently finished the series in January. So yes, this series is very fundamental to who I am as a fantasy reader. It has all of my favorite tropes in here because this started it all. So yes, I'm super happy that you guys know how much I love Sarah J Maas's books. And to this day, I love reading her books. I think they're so much fun. They just remind me of why I love reading, and I do definitely love this series and Sarah J Maas's books and works in general. Then Jolien mentioned Master of Sorrows by Justin T. Cole, which is funny because we buddy read this one, which is probably why she thinks of this when she thinks of me. This is a very recent favorite here on the channel. I recently filmed a review. This is a villain origin story, and in this one you don't really see that yet, and this could be my new brand depending on how and where the books go. This book I absolutely loved, and so yes, Jolien, I also think of you when I think of this book, or I think of this book when I think of you, because we buddy read it, so that was great. Then all the answers had so many books that I'm like so happy that you guys think of me, but no one was putting this book in the answers until one of my best in real life friends said it, and I was like, oof, at least someone associates this series with me because it's one of my all-time favorite series, like of all time, and that is A Song of Ice and Fire by George R. R. Martin. This is one of my Portuguese editions, which I just think are so pretty, and I one day need to film a like a video about all my editions, but I thought this one was so gorgeous, so I decided to hold this one up. This series is one of my all-time favorites, probably in like my top 3 of the series that I love the most, and I love this world, I love these characters, I love everything about A Song of Ice and Fire. I love, like, at work I was known as the Game of Thrones girl for a long time. People would send me direct messages in the chat system in High Valyrian. Like, this series is just everything to me. This one, as much as Throne of Glass kind of started it all, this one solidified my love for dragons even more than I already loved dragons. And this one is kind of what started me onto grimdark. So yes, I love A Song of Ice and Fire so much. Then some people said The Realm of the Elderlings, which I was super happy to see because I love Robin Hobb. I love these books, and even though I'm not done with The Realm of the Elderlings, I'm still only on the second book of the second trilogy. So I've read that one. So I'm on the third book of the second trilogy. I love these books. This trilogy is one of my favorite trilogies of all time. The second book is one of my all-time favorite books. I loved Royal Assassin so much. And yes, I think that when I'm done with The Realm of the Elderlings, it's going to be even more. Like, I'm going to love it even more and shout about it even more. But already now, I absolutely love The Realm of the Elderlings and Robin Hobb. And if you haven't read these books, do yourself a favor, pick them up. They're amazing. And a couple of people mentioned The Faithful and the Fallen by John Gwynne. Absolutely, John Gwynne, one of my favorite authors. By the way, most of these you can check out in my favorite authors video or auto by authors, because I love them. This series in particular, I love so much. I read it last year. It became a favorite. I need to read his other works because I haven't continued past this first quartet, which I absolutely loved so much. It has some of my favorite tropes, some of my favorite characters. This is just so good. The series was very underhyped for a while, and now it's getting more hype, at least on this side of BookTube. But yes, this series I absolutely love, and you're right to think of me when you think of this, or to think of this when you think of me, because I love it. It's one of my favorites. Then Sam of Over at Griff Reads, which I'm having a live show in like 20 minutes about this book with her and some other friends of mine, said Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. A lot of people said Brandon Sanderson in general, but she specifically mentioned Warbreaker, which, so I'm putting it here. I do love this book. I really like tapped the heck out of this one. I could really relate to the main characters. I thought this one was a ton of fun. This one is one of the more fun books in the Cosmere, and I think this book is great. totally underhyped as a Sando book because not a lot of people talk about Warbreaker, but I do absolutely love it, and I am glad that someone associates Warbreaker with me because I do love it. Then some people also said, and I'm so happy about this, Joe Abercrombie, because yes, he is also one of my all-time favorite authors. This trilogy is also one of my favorite trilogies. I love Joe Abercrombie. I love the world of the First Law. Glokta is like in my top 5 favorite characters of all time. I'm so glad that people associate this to me because this series is fundamental in stuff that I love about fantasy. Like, as a character-driven reader, I couldn't have dreamt of a better series. So yes, Joe Abercrombie, always. I still haven't finished. I haven't read The Age of Madness yet because I'm scared. I want more Abercrombie there, but I'm gonna read that this year for sure because I cannot be putting this off. I love his books so much. And finally, the book that came all the time in that thing, like, that everyone associates with me, that when you think of me, you think of this book, and that makes me happy because it is coincidentally my favorite book of all time. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And that is, of course, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. Like I said, a lot of people said Brandon Sanderson in general, and then if they gave specifics, they said this, and some people just said The Final Empire. Final Empire, I have a Why You Should Read here on the channel. It's a bit old, like, it's from last year. I love this book. This book feels like home. This is the book that gets me through hard times. This is the book that makes me feel happy inside. This book makes me feel like I'm home. When I hear Michael Kramer say "Ash fell from the sky," I get shivers, I get goosebumps. This book is everything to me. I love the characters, I love the plot, I love everything. At this point, I know what happens, so it feels just comforting. There's no anxiety going into this. I know the ending, I know everything, and I just love these characters. I love the magic system. This is what kind of like made me love fantasy to a degree, like epic fantasy and like crazy out there fantasy as much as I do, because I was reading a lot of YA, and this is one of the first ones that transitioned me into adult, and I love The Final Empire and Brandon Sanderson in general, and this trilogy is probably my favorite trilogy of all time. I need to make a video of those, but yes, love it. I'm so happy you guys know this about me and that you know how much I love this series. Looking at this stack, I'm really happy. I feel like I've done a good job yelling about my favorite things. There may be a few series that aren't on here, and I will make a follow-up video to this one where I talk about some books that I do love but don't really mention often enough on my channel, apparently, because no one has mentioned them in that comment. But yes, these books are some of my favorite books and some of the books that I am so happy that you guys associate with me. So let me know in the comments down below if there's other books that you guys associate with me, and let me know what your favorite books are and things that you love and that you would love for people to think of you when they think of that book, or vice versa. If you just want to let me know you were here, leave a dragon emoji, and until next time, happy reading. Bye guys.